Abrahamic covenant. God did with Abraham a covenant, and the covenant was about the seed of Abraham, his descendant, and the land. And then he spoke about a new covenant, which we think in our Christian walk with God, we think, we are the new covenant, and the Jewish, this is the old covenant. And this is totally wrong. Last time we read that, but we're going to probably read it again, presenter. So here is, if you can read, Misha, maybe?
Yep.
In Jeremiah 31:31, I want everyone to remember that. That's a new covenant. It's from Jeremiah. Sorry, I'm going to repeat one or two slides, but we're going to go. So Jeremiah 31:31 is talking about the new covenant. So it's not like prophetically talking about the new covenant who's coming into Christ when he will come. And the old covenant, which done through Abraham and his descendant, no, because you find that he's talking about he's gonna do a covenant. You know covenant, you know that word?
Yes, yeah, of course I'm a Catholic, yeah.
Yeah, covenant, it means like not contract, it's just a word that two people go together,
like a
and most of the time, deeper than promise, they honor it, yeah. So that covenant, he did it with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. So when Jesus did that, anyone can remind me? Because I didn't find it in the New Testament. Where was the covenant, the new covenant done with Judah and with the house of Israel? We said that we have to be, no. We're going to read now about that covenant. But see here, these two words are repeated into the Old Testament many times. House of Israel, house of Judah, house of Judah, house of Israel. And when he speaks that language, he's speaking about the split of the nation. It was split into two and one. Two continue to be with David, the king, and follow the lineage of David. They have the Torah, the word of God, and they have the temple, and they have more rights. But the other 10, they went around the world, and this is what we're going to talk about and show what happened along the history, what's in the Bible. All is Bible-based. So the house of Israel is the 10 tribes. The house of Judah is the 2.5 tribes. Benjamin, which is the second child of Joseph. Judah is number 4 of Leah. We don't want to go in details, but it's 2 that were separated. So can you read, please? Anyone can see it and read for us the covenant of the house of Judah and the house of Israel. Can you read, please?
Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant.
A new covenant.
With the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers.
So it's not like the one of the fathers. That's interesting. So that's the covenant of Abraham. It doesn't show like that. Keep going, please.
So it's not according to the covenant that I made with the fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
Yes.
Which my covenant they break. Although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord.
But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says the Lord. I'll put the law into their heart, into their inner parts, write it in their heart, and I'll be their God, and they shall be my people. So this is a new covenant, but it's written in the Old Testament, and he's talking that God is not doing the covenant with Abraham and his descendant, but it's a new one, but it's not in the New Testament. We do have the New Testament one, which is Luke, like we did today. It's Luke, he say, this is the cup of the new covenant in my blood, which is shed for you. So this is what we think is the new covenant. And as the Jews say always, it's not old and new covenant, it's one covenant. God did one covenant. And that covenant is not only, it's through Abraham, but it has more meaning. So,
it's very hot in here.
Very hot?
I'm not laughing at this, I promise. I'm just going through a rough time.
All right. Did you unplug this?
I know what it is. I promise, I swear.
Yeah, can you swap and let her be next to the door? And open the door. Open the door.
Darling,
because this is going to be hot. This is hot. Yeah.
Is that not cold?
The preaching is very hot.
Fire.
Yeah.
Let her swap with you.
It's better now? You want to sit here?
Let her swap, swap with her, so she can have more breeze.
Sorry, it's okay. I'm just trying to, I've got to get
That's
used to
all
all
right.
this again. I'm not laughing.
Sorry.
That's all right.
All right.
You don't take me the wrong way.
That's
That's just my first. Sorry.
That's all right.
And Ezekiel,
Sorry. I've been
It's all right.
watching too much comedy. Oh no, of course, I'm sorry about this.
in Ezekiel 33, what he's saying, for I will take you from among the nations and gather you out of all countries. So see what is the Lord is doing. He already told us about all those things which he didn't know on the time of the prophecy, and bring you unto your own land. So the Lord, we're going to bring everyone from all nations back to their land. And we think that the Aliyah, which, you know, the Jews now are calling after the 1948, he brought back all people to Israel, and they start Aliyah coming from Africa, from Russia, from wherever, and they call them back. But I don't think this is what is prophesied about. This is what we really have to make sure, is this what they call, or this is different? They're trying to fulfill the prophecy into their own way. But is this really God's way of doing it? Because God promised that he will do it. So they try to get the elite of every nation to use them somehow, and they do DNA tests and do a lot of things. They're trying. But is the system that who's doing this are the real Jewish children of Abraham? They're not. We talked about that last time. There is 2 verses into the book of Revelation 2 and Revelation 3. Is that the Jews who are not Jews. You gonna sit like that?
No, getting some paper.
Yeah, anyone want to have paper to write anything?
No, I'm fine. I'm just trying to. I'm going to soak it all in slowly. Sorry, just because I've been crying so much. I'm not crying, so I'm not laughing. Sorry.
Sure.
So the new covenant that's being written here it was written here in Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Is it similar to the new covenant that's spoken of in the New Testament?
It's one covenant, we said. It's one covenant. It's the covenant done through the blood of Jesus.
Yeah.
But here is saying that is a covenant done with the house of Israel and the house of Jacob. This is where we really don't know what is happening, because the church was totally separated from the Jews, and we're totally enemy to each other in a way. And the church believed that they are the replacement of the Jews, and this is a big drama. Because when they read the Bible and they have something good, they take it, the promise is for me. But when calamity will come, when the tribulation will, the great tribulation and all those horrible things, this is for the Jew. Really? It's either, you take it all, you're taking replacement or not. So, like I said last time, I'm gonna repeat, but maybe if people need to hear that, there's 2 things for the Christian to do. Too hard for you?
No, I'm fine. It's probably the sugars in the, I'm naturally a happy girl, so I don't mean to, I'm not laughing at this. It's just, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't eat a lot of sugar. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I shouldn't give you a lot of sugar.
I'm not laughing at this. I'm just happy.
Okay,
if you wanna go
happy
for a
is
walk,
good.
Yeah, sorry, because I don't want you to think I'm laughing at anything.
Laugh,
It's
we're
just-
happy here.
Yeah, I'm just.
If you laugh,
Sorry.
you're happy, I'm happier.
Too much Grover.
It's okay. It's okay. So, what were we talking about?
Yeah. About the house of Israel. House of Judah.
Yeah, I know. This is all we're gonna talk about the whole.
10 of the 2.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with me.
So, sorry, maybe I just need to be reminded of. So, house of Israel.
The house of Israel are.
Does Judah come from the house of Israel?
No, I'm gonna show you that now. All right. So he said here, "For I will take you from among the nation." God gonna gather His children, and He's the business of doing it now, right now. We're talking about the Jews who are not Jews in the 2nd chapter of Revelation, and chapter 2 and chapter 3, verse 9, if I'm not wrong. Twice he talk about the Jews who are not Jews, and we really don't know what he's talking about. So, who are the Jews who are not Jews? But let's go and move on. So, I just want you to do this because this is the greatest revelation I've ever had. Can you press enter, please? Get the picture of the menorah. Another one. That one. If you go and try to get that picture, you will not find it except in one place. The first one, it's the menorah. It's a symbol of Israel, and the cross is base, or Jesus is the base. See how beauty is this? Where is this in the church? And where is this into the Jewish culture? We're enemy. So unless that revelation come to the people that we are, the menorah is the light which 1, 2, 3, 4. This is right. This is wrong. I change this one. So look at this one there. This one is wrong. I cut one limb, but it's not in this picture. They should be the 7 lamp menorah.
This one is.
Yeah, this one is the right one. But this one, I cut one limb. I don't know where it come again. Anyway, so why there is difference? The menorah who is into the temple, they have 3, and the middle, the 7 spirits of the living God. You're aware of this. We talk about it.
Yep.
Yeah. So we don't have that. And they go and put, all the symbols of the cross, the Star of David. And if they continue to do this and they don't have the base of the cross into it, they're not doing the right thing. So here is, can you press enter, please? No. You go to that one? Oh, all right, okay. You're right. Wait. This is a prophecy here. I added into Ezekiel 37 and 16 and 17. The Lord said to Ezekiel, get a stick and put 2 sticks and put them in your hand, and they're going to be fused to be one. And who are those 2 sticks? One of them is Ephraim, which is the Israel, and the other one is Judah. You seen this? Right?
I'm looking at the camera.
I didn't put that one, sorry. But that's very important because it's like miraculously God will do something to fuse the 10 tribes in a simple language, the Christian and the Jews. So the Jews that are not the Jews, who are ruling the world now. The one, I'm going to go into a minute after that. So here is saying in Isaiah 11 that there will be no envy of Ephraim. When you find Ephraim is the 10th tribe of Israel. And the adversary of Judah. See, they are always like 2 opposing each other. So there will be no enmity between the people who receive God and the people of the Judaism who rejected Christ. After they all come into that photo that Jesus is the source of the menorah. So we go for another one. I'm not going for it. Let me talk about this one.
Makes sense.
No, leave this one. So the Jewish, yeah?
Can I interrupt for a second? So the Jews who are not Jews, are they the Gentiles or no? Or is it?
The Jews trying to call us Gentiles, so they make themselves more Jews. And the problem here, they are really have nothing to do with the real Judaism. The real Judaism, like I show you in the first picture, are some solitary people who are really fond of Christ.
Yeah.
You could find one in one church. The whole building of this big church would be one really, really something in his heart about the Lord. Not playing church, not trying to be a good Jew, whatever. They are special people.
Yes.
But there are many. They are scattered around the world, and we're going to see how they're
I
scattered.
had an encounter with a Jew, like a real Jew. There's something special about him. Like
No, then you'd be more Jew than him. Don't worry.
But yeah,
Just
you grew
listen
up
to the
different.
teaching and you change your mind. Because I was like you, one day I was invited with my husband to Malta. They had a conference, and we were going there representing nation. And there was Jews and they call us Gentile on the time. And was for me like, oh, that's a Jew, first time I've seen it. We're enemy all the time. Egypt was border and we were too much enemy. So but I was seeing that how much God loved the Jews into the Bible and said, oh, what is fascinating is their look different, nose different. What is it, Lord? Why do you love them? And we connect on that day through like, God did something, and then they invite us the second year in Jerusalem, and we went there. And it was great time that the Lord, through the word I was reading in Moses, and that's crazy story. Can I share it?
Of course.
Yeah. Because I was reading in Moses, and I saw as an Egyptian how we discriminate the Jews. And we did for them like horrible things, until we ran after them. And I didn't know about anything of this, and I was not linked with anyone. All my linking was the Bible. So in the middle of the meeting, like they pray, Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And because it's done among the Catholic, the Protestant, from every nation. So my husband was working in Arab country and me with him. So we were representing this nation and other people from different nations. So that Egyptian priest keep saying, Father who art in heaven, and then come that part, forgive us. Yeah, and it's just like tapped to my heart so much and said, can I just say something a little bit weird? Said, yes. Said, I'm just going to look like crazy, but I have the Pharaoh blood. So can I just apologize to the Jews of what we did 4,000 years ago? And that was the beginning of a bomb into the whole meeting. They found like the Orthodox, this woman is crazy, she shamed us. But for me, I was not ashamed of them. I just felt like, yeah, we did something wrong. And even, I didn't know about ages and years. It's just like come to me, the idea was from the Lord.
Wow.
Because I didn't know on that time that the meeting or the conference was, let my people go. Can you imagine? And I'm just allowed to be with my husband because they don't allow women. So I was the first one allowed into that meeting, and I shamed all the priests over there. But the rest of the story was very good, but let's go. So here is the thing, we are a bit confused because the influence of the Christian Zionists, Christian who are really wanted to bless Israel. They have a movement around the world and very strong, and the aim of this is to build the temple of the Antichrist. We're going to go into that little by little. So their influence is so strong that every Christian thinks, I'm going to bless Israel to be blessed. But you're blessing the wrong Israel. You are blessing the wrong Israel until you discover that. So there is the king. He has a crown, and the king is David. And here is a very funny story. We talked last time about, how the Roman Empire took the headquarters of Emmanuel. If you wanted to go anytime, you can. All right?
What time do you finish?
We finish when we finish.
Yeah.
When I feel like the people cannot take any more. Well, I know you have family. We said the headquarters was deviated to Rome. And that was very, very wrong thing, because the heart of God is Israel, is Jerusalem. The temple, he decided on that place I will bless. We talked last time about how Solomon said to the Lord, everyone come and pray towards this. You're going to honor his prayer. And he said that even the people from around the world, not only the Jews, if they come and pray and ask in your name and they're looking at the temple, you will hear that. And God said, yes, amen. He approved that thing. So everyone go and they hit their head on the wall of the Wailing Wall, which has nothing to do with the temple at all. Because if you think a little bit, Jesus said that one stone on the other, they will not stand. So what is this wall? Someone talked to me, because I don't do philosophy, I do simple things. They come to me, how is this wall standing if it is part of the temple? How the word of Jesus can fit with this? I believe the word of Jesus more. So we can go after that, what happened to the temple. But now we have a crown, David, and he said that there will be always someone sitting on the throne or on the throne of David. And we have the temple. Now, England, they're trying to say they are the crown, descendant of Jesus, descendant of David.
Oh, really?
But look, of course, and America and all that they are, and trying to prove it by all way. Good for them. God bless them with this. Because I'm going to surprise you from the Bible that this is wrong. See in the picture here that you have, in the corner, see the diaspora. Diaspora, it's a word saying that the Jews were spread all over the world. And they start, if you magnify the picture a little bit or whatever, I just put those ones. Maybe I'll show you here.
What?
Just a second. See, here is the Nile. What did I do?
You cut the screen.
Yeah, I know. Here is Egypt. Here is the Red River. And they go from here and they spread wherever. See, show you where is England here. Where is England here? Very far from Europe in the end. So they left all this and they went into England to bless them with the crown of, I don't know, and they think, the queen is, and they keep believing their stories and they believe in it, and they believe it as they like. So there is here,
They're obsessed with the queen.
The queen is all right, but I mean, like, they're trying to claim the throne of David is the throne of the Queen of England. Have you heard that?
No.
Oh, but, well, I heard it later on, and I believed it sometime. Oh, yeah, he said that will be always someone sitting on the throne of David. So if you get that prophecy, then it should be someone sitting on the throne of David. It will never stop. But I'm going to show you that's not right. Because he's not going to go and leave all this. He went to Egypt, they went to Ethiopia, they went to... the pictures, the maps are showing you those lines. Go to the other side of Africa and whatever. And then they go in, if you look, wait, which one is England? Let me see. England. I'm not very good into this map, but what is England?
On the northern part.
Very far. Scotland and England, very far of the picture. The corner which is next to Adam. Yeah.
Oh.
Bravo. Leave it, خلاص. All right. Someone read here. Because here is a prophecy to say that this is all rubbish. All this is rubbish. God said that there will come the time there will be no king for the Jews. And they will not. I read it for you. Hosea. This is the book of Hosea chapter 3. Please, everyone read that chapter. It's very, very good. But
So this chapter is
Hosea 3.
God saying that there's not always going to be a ruler on the throne of David. This is Jesus saying that you guys are wrong. It's not.
Hosea is in the Old Testament. This is prophecy.
This is okay.
Yeah, Hosea, he had God told him to go and get a whore and marry her and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then after that she went with other men and then redeem her again. It's very funny story.
Yeah.
And it's very hard for you to understand how God can say such thing.
I like it though because it's like his character that we don't know. It's like, well, hey, look at I do this, I do that. I like it.
Yeah, but he's doing this not for us to allow ourselves to go for wrong sexual things, but
no.
it's for us to say, because the whoredom of Israel is like the idolatry when they left God and go for other gods.
Yes.
So he wanted to show it into a real way. So he asked the prophet, because sometimes you don't understand except when you have an example. So the story of Hosea, read it for yourself. It's a good story. But while we're getting into that part, in the verse 4, for the children of Israel, the one is highlighted. Can you read it, Adam or Misha,
For
anyone?
the children of Israel
Yeah,
shall abide many days without a king,
yeah.
and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an epoch, and without...
The ephod is the things that the high priest is wearing, right? Ephod. And without teraphim. Yeah.
Afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God.
Yeah.
And David their king
Yes.
then shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days.
In the...
Latter days.
All right, what did he say? The children of Israel return and they ask for the Lord their God. Is the Jewish people of the nowadays are returned to God? Did they really seeking their God the way that is described here?
No.
There is some Jewish people, of course, they receive Christ, the Messianic and whatever. Mm-hmm. But we're talking about the nation of Israel. God is not playing jokes. So it's not taking, this one love me, whatever, yeah, okay. But if he will receive the Lord, he will be like the church. He will be counted as the children of God who are going to go into the rapture. But here is nation of Israel. God is talking about the nation, salvation of a nation in one day. The prophecy about it, and it will be fulfilled into the Armageddon day. Later on, we describe those things. We just go for little by little. So they were going to ask for their King David. This is King David with his and the ephod. That high priest, he's wearing the ephod. This is something that the high priest has 12 things on his chest, and he asked God and about something. Should we go to war? Should we do this? And the Lord answered him in a way. So this is the ephod and the teraphim that he's talking about. And you see the picture, Misha? The high priest has on his chest like a square, and it's like 12 different stones, right? Mm-hmm. And sacrifice, there's no sacrifice. Do we have a sacrifice for 2,000 years now?
Jesus?
Yeah. I'm talking about the Jews.
Oh.
Is there any animal sacrifice done?
like in today, that
Yeah.
they're doing actual sacrifices?
There is no 2,000 years the temple is destroyed, and there is no animal sacrifice. One time I had an encounter on the internet with a Jew, and I said to him, I don't know how a nation, you guys were living from one year to another to cover that God, you do the Yom Kippur, they do the slaughter of the animal, whatever, and God cover for 1 year. And then second, and if the God accept the sacrifice, the high priest come out safe behind the curtain. But if God didn't accept the sacrifice, the high priest die, and they have to pull him by a rope and pull him outside.
So can I ask you the reason? Let me get this straight. The reason why they did the animal sacrifices before was to
Was symbolic.
to speak with God, and only the holiest of holy men could speak with God behind the curtain.
Sure.
And now, because of Christ's sacrifice for us on the cross, now we have through Christ we have a connection directly with the Father. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
The sheet was torn and
Yeah.
the rock broke.
That's for the Christians.
Yes.
But for the Jews, what happened?
For the Jews were the ones
They
that
didn't
the ones that
accept
come to
Christ as their Messiah.
Yes. I
So
have a
what
word here
changed?
In Romans 11:13, can I read?
Sure.
This is just a different translation, a simplified version Bible.
Which one are you reading?
It's a 1-year Bible, so every day comes a new passage, but it continues from the last chapter, and it has psalms and but as we know
I also read that.
the message is it's Misha's Bible.
No.
Do you want to have Bible?
So it's Romans chapter 11 verse 13.
I have Bible. I'm on it.
Okay.
Okay, Romans chapter 11, verse 13. Yeah.
Yes. Take your Bible. Romans. Book of Romans. Somewhere like it. Because I was reading today and exactly what you're talking about came to me in the morning when I was reading.
Yeah,
exactly
but see, what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to show how the Christian took things and one, the reality is different things. The Jews, they stopped the sacrifice, not because Christ is their sacrifice, because they rejected him. So there was no alternative for them from the animal sacrifice. They
That
were
was
doing
my
it
next
every
question
year.
After I read this.
No, but because the temple was damaged, was broken, was destroyed, they don't have a place to sacrifice. They cannot sacrifice anywhere. The Jews, which are the tribe of Judah, I'm gonna show now the difference. They can sacrifice only in the temple of Solomon, the one who was destroyed. The 10 tribes, because their king want them to go and don't return to Judah again, to David, they can sacrifice. They do a building and say, this is our synagogue, and they do sacrifice. But this was very, very, very hated by the Lord. It was an abomination even in his sight. So there was only allowed the Jews, only one place is in Jerusalem, in the temple, to give the sacrifice. And from year to year, the Lord will cover for their sins, or they don't cover for their sins.
But this covenant is still active now, even though Christ, or is it's
But they didn't accept Christ. Christ for them is a bastard, and his mother is a whore, and they keep talking about him.
Doesn't exist anymore in there. Does the Lord accept their covenant still, like the sacrifice? If now they start sacrifice, for example.
They will sacrifice. They will build the temple, and they will sacrifice, and they're gonna be
This is what they believe.
abomination for the Lord. He will hate it because he already gave the ultimate sacrifice, Jesus. Right?
Same.
So he will not accept any sacrifice after Jesus.
Yes.
So what they're doing is not acceptable.
I see.
But there will be the time that there will be sacrifice as remembrance, because there will be 1,000 years when, this is very deep and I don't want to go in detail, but there will be another temple, which is the temple of Ezekiel 37. There will be temple that the Lord himself will do it,
Yes.
not the Antichrist. The temple of Antichrist will be destroyed in Armageddon, will not exist anymore, right? But the temple will be built into the 1,000 years of 1,000 years of millennium. Millennium is mil, it means 1,000. We will come back with Jesus after the 7 years of tribulation. We'll rule and reign on the earth for 1,000 years. On that time, Christ will do a temple for him, and he will do his own things. And if we do sacrifice, Because there is Bible verses saying that I oppose it too much in the beginning. How can we have a sacrifice after Christ? You know, there is no jokes in this, you know. But I find Bible references, like verses from the Old Testament, there will be. So it's like, you know, we do something to remember what happened, that probably. But don't let us go for this. What I'm trying to say, I'm not talking about the Bible as spiritual. Take a Bible verse and enjoy it, whatever. I'm talking about the literal things that are going to happen. The deep things that you really have to see that you may not be able to see it except after years of studying the Bible and whatever. So I know I'm talking very deep, but
Thank you.
may you, time and time I repeat the things that are going to stick to your head. But I really cannot talk baby talk. I'm sorry. I'll try.
No apologies.
All good.
Not for now. So this is here like the ancient Hebrew. Can you press enter? So here is what they want as a symbol more than the menorah, 6 and 7 menorah lamp, 7. The 9 menorah or 4 and 4. This is a Hanukkah. This is something they created after. It's not described by God. Do you know the Hanukkah?
That's like the celebration.
Yeah, it's a Jewish celebration, but it's not in the Bible. It came after that. So the menorah, which is into the temple, is the 7 spirit of the living God, the 7 spirits, 7 lamps. So they try to put, you know, all those symbols, but the symbol, only one which is right, is the one that I show you before, which is the cross, the base of the menorah. Menorah is the light of the world, is Jesus. He's the light of the world. We didn't do tea, right? We can take a break and have some tea, but I'll see when we stop. Let me go to this. Where is this?
Melona.
Huh?
What did you say, Melona?
Menorah?
This one?
Melora.
The menorah.
Oh.
Menorah?
The name of the other one, the Manuka?
Hanukkah. The Hanukkah that was, the after the time of the temple and all those things after no, not after Jesus. I don't know when it was the time, but it's not written in the Bible. It's into the Apocrypha. Do you know Apocrypha? Yes, there was an invasion, and there was a lamp, and the lamp stand 8 days, and it didn't finish because the word of God say the fire should not be quenched. The fire in the altar should be all the time. So they had a little bit of oil, not enough for a day, whatever, and it stayed for 8 days.
Wow.
So they celebrate that as a Hanukkah, and it's celebration not really into the Bible, but it's very,
It's not biblical.
Yeah, but it comes into the, they add,
Something
something happened into Maccabi. If you read the books of Maccabees, this happened on that time. That oil was continuing for 8 days. So now they celebrate the Hanukkah with 8 days, and the last one is in the middle, of course. We go for... Can you enter, please, and get that map, because you're going to see that map. Can you see that map? There are the 12 tribes of Israel. Can you see it's divided by 2? One is Ephraim, or the Israel, the 10 tribes, and the bottom one is 2 tribes. So it's separated by that way. So what happened, as we spoke about it last time, I'm going to review it again. What happened here, the 10 tribes of Israel, they were really living in a very big sin, and at the time of Solomon was deep in sin, marrying women and going for a lot of rituals of the Canaanite and all the women that he was marrying to them. So God was very upset with Solomon, the son of David, straight. And he said, I'm going to finish. After all the riches they gave to him and all that, but it's not going to be on your time, on your son's time. So exactly Yorbaam and Rohbaam, 2 different kings. One of them took is the son of, sorry, I'm saying in Arabic. I don't know Yorbaam, and you guys have different names. So 2 kings. The king, which is the son of Solomon, took, he said, I'm going to make more taxes and be more difficult than my father. So people, why should we continue with him? They came to him and said, your father was doing a lot of work on us. Can you please reduce it? He said, no. He took the advice of the young ones and rejected the advice of the elders. So the tribe said, why should we continue with the son of Jesse or son of David? Why? And they were separated. Another guy came and he took the 10 tribes and they were separated. So there was one tribe, Judah, and Benjamin joined him. And because they need the Torah and the temple, so some of the Levites. So 2.5 tribes and 10 or 9.5. So they say 10 and 2. Okay, it's divided. The kingdom was divided into the upper house of David and the lower house of Israel.
Yes.
Too difficult.
Deep.
All right, look at the map. You see the line who's dividing?
Which line?
Yeah,
This line?
that one. Dividing here.
Oh.
Go up one more. See, yeah, that divide.
Line
Yeah.
down here.
So
Okay.
Jerusalem was divided into 2 countries, like Egypt, the upper Egypt and the lower Egypt. So that's the same thing. The upper Israel and the lower Israel, they were separated. But the upper Israel and the lower Israel continue to be with David, the house of David, because God promised him there will be always one on his throne forever. And God do not lie. But did you see that he say, he put here, there will be time and there'll be no sacrifice and until they repent and return, which we didn't see that as a nation. So that prophecy didn't happen yet.
So when Jesus says there will always be like someone sitting on the throne of
David. Yeah.
But then in Hosea 3:15 it says a prophecy that there will be a time when there will be no place for them
Yeah.
until he comes in and they will be drawn to him in one day.
Yeah.
How can there always be someone on one throne when there's no one on the throne?
Well, Jesus is on the throne now.
That's what
So,
it means, okay.
yeah, on that time, Jesus is still on the throne and he will be the one on the throne of David.
Okay.
So David will not be resuscitated and sit on his throne again. I don't know about that. He is the one, the descendant of David, who's going to sit on the throne. And he did. Jesus now is on the right hand of the Father, on the throne already, right?
Yeah.
But on the physical earth,
That's what they can't see.
you cannot say, this is because she's a queen, Elizabeth, whatever, or king, whatever. She is on the throne of David because she's a queen. No. This is like really the American and the Jewish and whatever. Jewish play with the Americans because they get money. So they use them, and they hate the Christian, they hate the American, they hate them. If you see, like in the time of Obama, he was really too much with the Muslim, too much, and then he said,
Isn't he a Catholic?
no, Obama is Muslim. He's Muslim, African Muslim. Family,
I don't know.
yeah, you know now. His father is Hussein. This is name of Muhammad. Yeah. So what happened here? He was really challenging the Jews too much, and Netanyahu said in one of his talks, he will not know what we can do for him. We can really make him like really all his people on the dole or something very, very awkward. They can do anything they want. So for America, it's like taken by the Jews in a way. But I don't talk politics here. We're talking about, that the throne that they're trying to say that they have it. No. There is one on the throne already, and he will come back one day. We're just waiting for him. I'm gonna explain more to you. Just go a few.
Antoun,
Long live King Jesus.
I just want you to go. No, not that one. Where is it? That one. You guys all look on my computer. Come and see it from here. You see it here?
yeah, I can watch.
All right. So this is Israel, right?
You just turn it around to me.
So this is Israel, right? And there is an arrow coming out of the 12 tribes of Israel. One of them is called Judah. Judah is number 4 of Leah, the first wife of Jacob. The first time I discovered this for myself, I said, I never knew that Judah and Yahud is the same thing. Yahudi, Yahuda is in Arabic, and in the Hebrew is the same word. But I never knew that the word Judah or Yahuda or Yahuda is the same word from the fourth child. Why was the fourth? Because the other three were not doing the right thing. The older one, he did adultery with one of the concubine of the father, so that was the firstborn. He was rejected, and then the other two did other bad things. So he was number 4 of the first wife of Israel, who is Jacob. Too hard? All right. So Judah is number 4, all right? And the Jews are only from Judah. But God will never give the whole thing. He gave all the promises to the 12 tribes. Even Judah, where we say Yahud or Yahudi, whatever, 2.5 tribes, but there are 10. God will not give the land except for the 10. Because the 12 children of Israel are God chosen to inherit the land. We said land, we said covenant. There's no jokes about that. The land will be given to them as promised. Because you found really God promised Abraham the land, and he already got him into the land. I have verses for it, but I'm not going to search for everyone now. He already gave him the land. And then he took him out of the land. Why? I have the verses here, but because of touching the computer. Very strange. God said to Abraham, don't go to Egypt. And he lied and took his wife and went there, and he said, she's my sister. And he said to Isaac, which is the second, don't go to Egypt. And they went to Egypt. Come to Jacob. He said, go to Egypt, and I will be with you. And I will bring you back. And Joseph will lay hand on you, and you will heal. God wanted to birth Israel, birth the Jewish nation in Egypt. From Egypt I call my son. The birth of Israel as a nation was in Egypt. So he already entered into the promised land. So what are all those stories that we are talking about? Right? Because all is about the end time. God is going to gather, spread them all over the world. The Christian, which are probably the 10 tribes of Israel, the real, because if you accept Christ, you're a Jew into your inner being, and you do not know.
You're part of the olive tree.
Yeah. I'm just gonna get...
That's maybe too...
So that map is a bit easier? Israel and Judah?
Yeah, that's clearer, yeah.
Clearer?
Yeah,
Yes.
visible, yeah.
You see it? It's clearer.
Yes.
So the Israel are the 10 tribes which went crazy. They were doing abomination in the sight of the Lord and did all the horrible things that God rejected into when they entered into their land. So first of all, what happened? As I said, there was a division of the nation, and then he said, they're gonna feel sorry and they want to go back to David. Let's finish with this. And he built for them places that can do sacrifice over there. And we said God hated. So that was the first thing that they did. And then they entered into all the land of Canaanite and Amorite and all those ites. And they took all the bad things that they were doing, and they're going deep into it even more. So God was not and then Jeremiah and all those prophets, they came and rebuked the nation of Israel, the 10 tribes of Israel, particularly very deeply. And there is prophecy about God not gonna let you go with this. So come a king from Assyrian king, and he took all over the 10 tribes. What the capital of the 10 tribes was Samaria, the Samaritan. And he took them and transported. Did you read those Bible verses? Did you find the story I said? No? He deported them. He took them and put them into Assyria, and the Assyrian bring them into the Samaria. So where are the 10 tribes? They went into Assyria. And the ones who are in Samaria are false Jews. They're not Jews by any means. And all they were doing is just like nonsense. None of them was real thing. They were deported. Do you know deported? And the word of God into the 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 23, he said, and they never return. And when I read that word, I was just like, aha, what is this? Never return. What do you mean? So who are the Samaritan people? And I start to dig and read and ask God, what is this and stuff like that. And then
So that one is in
second, read it. I gave it to you the other day and you left it.
17,
2 Kings 17 verse 27. He's talking about that Assyrian king who took captivity and they swapped, and then they didn't know how to live the life of the Jews over there. So there was the lions coming upon them. So he brings some of them to teach them the ways the Jews to do the things of God of Israel. But anyway, they went and they were so bad in a way. They took all the religions and all the horrible things of the nation that they went into that. So what happened next? Judah, which are the two tribes who are following David and Solomon, who have the throne, who have the Torah, and who have the temple. These are the more blessed people. 2 and 10. The 10 was so erratic, so crazy, right? The 2, God keep telling them, as I did with those, I will do with you. The prophets start to talk to them like really rebuking, no jokes. So they didn't listen to God. They did have all the abomination of the Gentiles. And here God do not have a covenant with Gentiles. No. The Gentiles are bad in God's sight. And we talked last time, there is word Gentiles and word nation. In English, the two of them are nation. But if you see in the Hebrew or in Arabic, I can tell the difference. When he's speaking about nations and when he's speaking about the Gentiles. Gentile is a person who's not going to be rescued or saved. Like he said, I love Judah, I love Jacob, and I hate Esau. So we can go into more details into that when the slide comes. So he hate them. It means like they have no salvation. There is no salvation for them. So when we do evangelism, sometimes you have to ask God, are we losing our time with that person? You have to listen to the Holy Spirit. Because some people are unredeemable. You think God is God of justice? Yes. But in the beginning, God separate people and nations and separate, there is the seed of the devil and the seed of God. So the seed of the devil, don't waste your time with them. The seed of the devil, they will not be rescued. There is no way. And I know there will be answer and objection. But can you leave it for me? I'm going to explain it. Say it.
Yeah, please.
It's just that we had a Bible study in Office Mates, and the topic predestination came out.
It's not about predestination. It's about what happened. All right. Do you want to go to that? Go for the curse of the Canaan.
Sorry.
I will give it. It's in here. Canaan. K-N-N-N-A-N. Well, I should get the projector next time. You know? I have a projector, but it's in the Mandruit.
We'll help you set it up.
Next time we'll do it outside.
When it's too much here, you're going to go to my house. Unless God send us a room.
Yeah.
Don't you have an office?
Huh?
You can do it in my house if you want.
Where is it? Curse. All right, go for curse of Canaan. I'm going to explain the curse of Canaan because most of you probably curse. Go. Yeah. No, another one. Not this one. Next. All right, this is what you wanted to go, but I was trying to be gentle and talk to you one step at a time. But can I finish that story? Because this story is no one is talking about it. And when I talked to a Jew about it, he was just really angry. You were in the same church, remember? Mm-hmm. He came from Jews for Jesus.
Yeah.
And I said to him, how dare you talking about this? You said that Jonah was a Gentile nation. No. These are the real Jews that cross on the other side. And he was sweating and, go away, I don't want to talk to you. Didn't we say they were deported? So the real ones are over there in Iraq and Assyria, whatever. These are the real Jews of the 10 tribes. Put that in your mind when you deal with them. Because this is where you go every day with the Fairfield people. They are the 10 tribes. And you find their names totally and completely Jewish names. You're going to be surprised. Ask, what do you mean by your name? They will tell you, is this and that, and you'll be very surprised. So those are the 10 tribes deported. And God sent Jonah, with the wheel, you know, Jonah, who entered into the fish, the whale. You know that story? And the Jew was telling, he's going for his enemy, the Gentile. I said, no. They are not Gentiles. God don't play games.
No.
When he sent again, and when he went to the Samaritan woman and walked to her because she was of the 10 tribes. No, she was not the Goyim, she's not the Gentile. He never went to the Gentile. There is no covenant with Gentile. The Gentile are the seed of the devil. There is no salvation for them.
Accept Christ.
No, they won't. They are like their father who is the devil.
Gentile.
Yes. You wait. I'm going to show you this one. But let me finish this story because no one will tell you this story.
Devil, evil, yeah, you know what I mean.
We're not afraid of the devil.
I don't
If
know.
you're afraid, we're going to
I'm
pray
scared of
with you and you're going to make him afraid and run. You make him very scared. I get you the gun of my grandson,
evil.
he
My
kick,
uncle, yeah, I know.
and he ran away. So what happened next? Jerusalem, or the Judah tribe, was evil as bad as the 10 tribes. So after prophecy that didn't respond, Jerusalem was, people love worshipping the devil. They love it. Sacrifice their children, put them in the fire, and they get power, and all the abomination that you can, we're going to see some of them now. But anyway, maybe not now, but in the time to come. Because we want to talk about the more important topics than the less important. We don't want to go for details which...
You can't give
But-
the quotation that way.
Yeah, okay. So what happened here? The temple was destroyed. And everything was stolen or taken away. They maybe try to take it here or there, I don't know, but there is no temple, there is no Ark of Covenant, there is no menorah, there is no, everything is destroyed. And the emperors who came first, they put the Jews into their head and they were planning to destroy them in a way incredible, until, they gave them a temple of Jupiter. And probably this wall that they worship is a wall, the Wailing Wall is Jupiter temple, or later on Helena, when she came to Christianity, she built a big church which was broken again. And they want to know where is the place of, it's another story. In the end of the day, the temple was destroyed, and the penalty that God put on the 10 tribes, he put it on the destruction of the temple. It was destroyed totally. And the people didn't continue. What happened to the people of Judah, of Jerusalem now? We talk about one of the 10 tribes when deported to Syria and Iraq. Came Nebuchadnezzar, and he was the Iraqi king who destroyed. So the first one was Assyrian, the second one was Iraqi, and he destroyed the temple. He took the elites, we second time say that, took the blood, royal blood, and he took them to Iraq. As the story of Daniel and this story. Take all the good ones, blood royal and whatever, and he took them in. So left over, they ran away into the last chapter of 2 Kings. So 2 Kings 17, verse 23, and then go to the chapter 2 Kings 24 and 2 Kings 25, and he's talking about how the remnant went to Egypt. They probably are the Orthodox head-hearted and stingy people over there, that probably we're from them. Anyway, so here is the thing now. This story is very important because it's shaping where the people of God, where Israel was dispersed, and there is no temple, no trace for them and all that. Now we're gonna go back now. So did you get this part of the story? There was deportation, the 10 tribes were taken there, and they went into all over the world, spread, and they were mixed into the nation. Some of them kept a little bit of their Judaism, but many of them not. They're totally into, if they're in Egypt, there will be Pharaoh's religion.
They
If they,
adopted where they went.
yeah,
And then
they're
now
totally
God will call them all
into,
back.
like secular word, and they deny all the roots. Many of them, or most of them, are that way. They have more than one God, and they live for their life. And years after years, generation after generation, they lost their identity. Now, I'm going to pause and talk about something very, very delicate. Can you see this? No, you can't. All right, come next to me. This is someone who did that. God bless his heart. I didn't understand the beginning, but later on, is the Canaanite lineage. There is a curse of Canaan. Do you know the curse of Canaan? Curse of Canaan. Where is? Huh?
Is it where who met with his daughter? Yeah.
Curse of no. Canaan, this is in the early beginning when we had Noah and he had 3 sons, Sam, Ham, and Japheth. Sam are, I think the Semite are the American, the English, the Jewish, whatever. Ham is the 3rd child, and he was really, let me get you the picture so you will enjoy it. Why are you doing this to me?
What's happening?
I just want you to see the picture because the pictures speak more than thousands of things. And just a minute, okay? I'm gonna go there. Because the curse of many of you know about the blessing. Many of you know about the blessing of Abraham, but how many know about the curse?
Nothing. I don't know.
No one know about it.
Which curse? The one
The curse of
King David's lineage?
no, you told me about that. No, this is deeper. The curse
So you know how
of
Abraham
I
Canaan.
don't know too much.
All right, what is it?
Genesis 9. 18.
What page is it, sorry?
But every Bible's different size font.
yeah,
So
sure.
like,
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a slide before them. That slide. Yeah, go for it. Well, how do you make it bigger? Look, awesome. All right, so do you know that story? Because really, we want to talk about the blessing of Abraham, but I'm pretty sure that none of you know about the...
love him.
Huh?
Love him.
You're loving what?
The teaching.
You're gonna leave me. Do you wanna stop and take some tea?
Yeah.
Before we go for the Canaan problem?
Up to everyone, I'm good.
I want you guys to see that picture. Can you see that picture? This is a transfer what happened between the tribes who were here and they were transported to the other side. But we can take tea now. So I can
Coffee and tea.
tea or coffee, whatever. And I have cakes, the birthday cakes of Elijah. Aha. Video